Hi, this is Riley for another Csec Cxc Geography Made Simple. So the last time I was with you, I was sharing with you, the cover page of your Geography SPA, and I left where I was talking about the title. Okay, now I always encourage my students. I've always encouraged my students to have what you call a title page. Well, this is not stipulated by CXE, so you don't have to do it. But I always encourage them to have a title page. And the title page is that page right after the cover page that only has the title, right? And on that is the same title that you would have right beneath the topic on the cover page. All right. So after the title page, and I'm going to be looking at for today's presentation. I'm just going to be looking at the title page, acknowledgement, and the table of contents. And the other presentation, I will look at the introduction and the aims. Alright, so let's get back to the title page. As I said before, the title page is not something stipulated by CXC in which you should do, but for other, meaning that I'm a person that is interested in research, a person that is delving in research, and in research you normally have a title page. I encourage my students to have a title page. Now, after the title page, again, this is not uh, something that is stipulated by CXC. However, but it goes for good governance and organization. Now, after the title page, I normally ask my students to write 3 or 4 lines of acknowledgement. And in this acknowledgement, what they would do, they would simply uh, share with the reader, right? And notice through the entire paper, the writer for this paper, the writer for this project, refer to himself or herself as the researcher, right? No, at no point in time, I is used. So you will not see I will do this or I will do that. I discovered that. It's all about the researcher. It's a research project. All right, and that's a principal approach in which you should use when actually doing your SBA. Okay, so after the title page, you have the acknowledgement, and the acknowledgement is just simply saying thanks to those persons whom have made it possible for the completion of the project. So normally you would thank God for those persons believing in God, right? And then you will thank those persons like your parents, a friend, those persons who actually guided you. And of course, you would probably put your teacher's name, right? Now, after that, the acknowledgement, here comes the fun part. This part is in the CXC outline in which you should have, right? You get 1 mark for including this within your SBA. This is called this is called the table of contents. Now, the table of content is that area within a book or a paper that you can actually go to find the number, should I say, the page number in which the different section within the SBA can be found. So therefore, for example, the SBA have several sections. The first section after the table of content is what you call the introduction, and I'm going to be talking to you about the introduction next. So you join me next video and I share with you the introduction. Alright, so the table of contents should be in sync or should have the same number as what is actually on the page. You will not get the mark if the page number and what is on the actual page is not saying the same thing. For example, if you have introduction page 6 and the reader turn, and the reader in this case would be the examiner, the teacher, the person actually scoring, marking, applying grades to your SBA. If they turn the page to page 6 and they see aims, that means the table of contents is there, yes, but it is of no use to the reader because the page numbers are wrong. Okay, this is a problem that a lot of teachers actually face with regards to students doing table of contents and the numbers are incorrect. Another problem that a lot of persons have with table of contents is that when you try to number the page, the Microsoft Office, it starts to number the page from the cover page. There's nothing wrong with that. Allow it to do that. Okay, what you do when you're numbering the page and it says, when you look at the introduction page and you see page 3 or page 4, because you take into consideration the cover page, you take into consideration the acknowledgement, you take into consideration the introduction. So therefore, you take into consideration the cover page, the acknowledgement, the table of content, and then the introduction, right? So the introduction normally comes on page 4. So you'll see page 4 beside my students introduction. So it depends on how they actually do the first part, right? But that's how I normally do it. Back in the days when my students normally print the document, I would ask them to just print the document without the page number, and when it's finished, they use a black ink pen and write the page number 1, 2, 3, 4 on the introduction page. But being that it is it is digital, I allow them to do that, insert numbers, and then now you would put in the table of content page, the page number that is actually on the page. Another point to note before I end, I never expected that this simple page will actually have me speaking so long. Alright, another thing in which I should point out is that in the table of content, you should have two headings. One heading is a title, page title, and the other heading is page number. Right at the top, you would have a table of content. On the page title, you would have the introduction, the aims, the methodology, presentation of data, all of that. On the page number, you would have the actual number that the different section falls under. Now, points to note again, if let's say that you are on you have actually presented information, presented data, and the presentation of data is actually stretched between 4 or 5 pages. Let's say it's between page 11 and page 16, right? In the table of content, you're going to have presentation, analyzation, interpretation of data, and some, you might put quality if you want along that long stretch, right? You can put underneath page, you would have page 11, and you would have a dash, and you would have 16, right? And then below that, you would have the findings and conclusion, and that is normally on one page because you're going to actually do that in summary form, noted form. Usually, if you try to do it in paragraph, it will make your project go over the word limit. So you would actually just put page 17 there, and then you would put page 18 for the reference. Then now you would put page 19 for the indexes, appendices. Sorry, yes, the appendices. All right, so that's it for today as I talk about table of content. Join me next as I look at the introduction to your actual SBA. Bye bye for now. Peace out.